What's going down, y'all? It's Louis with a Cannon. We doing an interview with.
What up, y'all? I'm LoelTee.
Let's get this shit started. Where you from, man?
I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I originally grew up in Circleville, but I came here 8th grade, so I've been on these streets since.
Let's turn. So what's it like growing up? Where you from?
Whole lot of love, whole lot of hate. A lot of my people in prison for life, you know, dead. It really was not the easiest growing up in Columbus, Ohio, but at the end of the day, you just gotta thug it out. Thug it out. Like Skrilla, that's my nigga.
No, it's dead. The turn. Definitely. Yeah. I see where you come from. What made you want to do music?
What made me want to do music was just being in Columbus, Ohio, just being so different from everybody. I seen the routes that was going for my future. And I'm like, yo, I really don't want to go too far in the education field, so how can I just be persistent in my future? Music is everything that I've ever had in my life that made sense, so I just kept riding with it. I started in band when I was young, so I've been in band since I was in like 4th grade. I've been playing guitar since 6th grade, and I know how to read and write music. So I just really learned how to critique rhythm and flow. I started rapping when I was in 7th grade.
What do you see yourself doing in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself making it. I see myself getting my first Grammy Award. I see myself selling Madison Square Garden. You know, not me being the only artist, but hopefully with some big industry artists. I see myself there, exactly where I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? I wrote a 5-year plan 8 years ago. And
Who are some of your music idols?
I would have to say my biggest music idols, my biggest music idol would have to be, like, the #1 biggest music idol for me would have to be Bob Marley. Because just to go through all those things that he went through and still strive and push to be one of the greatest artists in the world, that is like the biggest thing for me. Because I go through so much fucking shit. So I just gotta keep pushing forward, you know. It's a really big story for him. So.
Tell us one thing about yourself.
One thing about myself is I think way too much. I'm consistently overthinking. It seems like I'm just always focused on what's next, and I'm never able to settle or rest because I'm always thinking about what's next.
What states do you think get the most music exposure?
The most music exposure, I would have to say Florida, Los Angeles, absolutely. But I feel like there's just something more closer about Florida. It seems like the people are just more closer to each other. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think Atlanta?
Atlanta is one of the biggest places for music. One of the biggest. I think that my style in music is a little different for me to get accepted with Atlanta's crowd, but no judgment, and I'm sure they're gonna recognize. You know what I'm saying? But I love Atlanta.
What can be done to get more attention in the music scene in the city?
I think just making sure that you are consistent with meeting people, consistent showing your face. As long as people know your face, they're gonna know what you're doing, your achievements, what you're doing. And I think also the biggest thing is showing support back. Because if you're just wanting support for yourself and you're not giving any support back, then the reciprocation is just not gonna be there.
Right, like go to shows that people didn't think you was ever gonna come
Clap
to.
for people, man, because you
What
want
are
to
your
be
top
clapped.
5 local artists that we should look for?
The top 5 local artists that I'll be listening to locally, I would have to say #1 is Juson XIII. Juson XIII on all platforms. Christopher Boyd King, he cool as fuck. That's my dude. I got a few songs with him. He's one of the top that I listen to. #2 would have to be Cannon with a Boom. That's my dude as well. #3 would have to be Lil Louis. He from Columbus, Ohio. #4, I would have to tell you, would be Doobie. That is one of the greats here, and Doobie is one of my all-time favorite artists from here. And number five, when I tell you this 5th artist, I'm telling y'all, go fuck with C Streets, man. He's a real ass nigga. It's my dog. It's my day one. Go fuck with C Streets.
Shout out to C Streets.
Hell
I
yeah.
fuck with Dog too.
Yes, sir.